do you like what we do here? I would assume so if you're listening to this. We have had a good year for growth this year. We've had substantial growth on all the podcast feeds with new subscribers. We have the new YouTube channel with a bunch of new subscribers there too. But we want to carry this over into 2026 so we can continue to provide high-quality entertainment, high-quality news, high-quality reviews, and all that kind of stuff. So what we're asking for going into next year is, if you have the ability, we're not asking for a lot, you can donate. Go to ko-fi.com/MWP News and make a donation. Everything you do goes towards making sure we can do things. That way I can take days off work to go and cover things early, or, things of that nature. Go to events and talk about them early, see advanced screenings. All that stuff goes into that budget. On top of that, if you can't afford that, and I realize right now things are tough and things are rough out there. If you can't afford that, the easiest thing you can do is subscribe and rate. No matter what you use to get this podcast, you can subscribe. Just hit the follow button, hit subscribe, whatever the button is on your thing, and then rate us. Give us 5 stars. That'll help more people find us, and the more people find us, the more we can, the more we'll be able to do, and we'll be able to get more happening. You can also go to mwpnews.com and sign up for our newsletter. There we will have articles and stuff like that about what we cover on this show. And we will also be doing more gaming content on the YouTube channel. If we can get, with more subscribers on there, we can do more. And that's youtube.com/@MWPnews. And again, thank you for a great year for us. Next year will be better. One of the big issues that I had this year that preempted me from doing a lot of what I wanted to has been resolved with the issue with my car, and that issue has been resolved. So going into this next year, we should be a lot more smooth sailing, but we do need your help to get more people listening and get what we're doing here out there. So just subscribe, tell your friends, and if you have the ability to, and you have the money, and you want to, and you think we're doing a good job, and we've earned that, go to ko-fi.com/MWP News and throw us whatever you think we deserve. And thank you, and enjoy this episode. Good evening, and welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam, and let's talk about this for a second, because this is going to be an interesting topic for today. Because, my issue is, when I first saw the Super Mario movie, what was it, 3 years ago at this point? It was Easter weekend. I want to say it was 3 years ago. I remember leaving it being like, oh, that was not bad. And then I rewatched it. If you go and listen to 30-minute reviews this week, you'll see what I mean. I was kind of a lot less on about it. I felt like it was very shallow. The plot's not particularly great. It's not even like, oh, well, they're doing a bare minimum Mario movie, so they're trying to just, set that out. No, it's just kind of like, bleh, the entire way through. That's the best way I can describe it. Just kind of, And the issue with that is that it's like Mario doesn't really learn anything, and no one, even the big thing in the movie that is his kryptonite, eating the mushrooms, it's not that he needs to do that in the end to beat it. He just kind of suffers through it reasonably early on in the plot, when he's got to learn how to play the game, basically, with Princess Peach. And the issue I have with this is that it seems like the Super Mario Galaxy movie is kind of the same thing. And let's be honest with this. The issue I have with the Super Mario movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie, the Super Mario movie, whatever it is it tries to mask that with this idea that there's a lot of like jangling keys, Mario equivalent of the glup shido, for lack of a better word. And there's a ton of that. There's a ton of like, oh, look at, here's the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh, here's the tiny mushroom. Oh, here's the, here is the, what's it called? Here's, the ice flower. Oh, here's Mario in the cat suit. Now we're in the Kong Kingdom. Here's Cranky Kong. And I did this whole bit I did earlier this week. But the point stands, where it's like, that's what they're trying to get you to look at, to be like, oh, look, there's all this cool shit here. That's pretty cool, and we'll be distracted by that. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is more of that, but now we've seen the first one. And I think the other thing is, too, when I think back about how it was when I was leaving that, is that it's like, it was Illumination, and like Illumination for me has been kind of hit or miss, where it's like, The Secret Life of Pets is good, but there are other movies that I didn't like as much. Not a big Minions fan. Liked Despicable Me when I saw that the first time. And then it's like, video game movies, too, have been hit or miss since their inception, with more misses than hits. So like the idea that Illumination teamed up to do this Mario movie and it worked, and Chris Pratt was going to be the voice of Mario, and there's a whole lot of things here that don't feel quite right, or like rather leave a lot of room for fuck-uppery, for lack of a better word. And that's kind of where I was seeing, waiting for this movie to come out. Is I was kind of like, okay, so, it's good. They stuck the landing and it's good enough. And then when you rewatch it, you're like, well, it's not a great movie. And I think the other thing that's kind of distinct now watching this is that they're very much trying to do the MCU thing of building out this wider universe. This movie, I think the best analog I can think of is that it's Iron Man 2. Except if Iron Man was like a lot worse. Because I'm not saying the Super Mario movie is as good as Iron Man, but like very clearly after Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk, they tried to ramp up the creation of the Avengers and get us to that point. Where there's a bunch of not cameos, but there's a bunch of setup and a bunch of like teasing things. We're building the universe. Here's Black Widow. Nick Fury's got a bigger role. Coulson's gonna go fuck off to New Mexico because that's where Thor is, and that's that's kind of what this movie is. Where it's like, and here's Star Fox. Here is spoilers for the post credit, but like here's Daisy showing up, and it's like, again, we rushed to Galaxy. I feel like a World movie should have come first, and then we rushed to Galaxy, and it's just kind of a weird thing. I don't hate the movie, but I think that like when we look at like movies that are kind of doing this thing, which is adapting something loosely, we saw this done much better with Sonic 3, where Sonic 3 is very much an adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2. But it's an adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2 set within this world. And you're going to get the fan service moments you need. You get the live and learn needle drop in the third act. You get Sonic and Shadow fighting in Super Sonic and Super Shadow. Like, you get all these things that you're looking for in this movie. They all happen and they all work out. But the underlying story is, good enough to get you over the finish line. For me, as someone watching this, I left this and I'm like, I don't really care about any of this. Like, if they decided they're not making another one of these and this is just the end of it, I'd be totally okay with that. I would never have to see another one of these movies again and be totally okay with that. Unfortunately, it seems like we're going to get a million of these from now until the end of time. And I will say, there's one thing I'm happy about, and it's that they didn't try to do another song like Peaches, because like that was something that like was a genuine concern of mine going into this, was that it's like, you had this viral hit with this song that Jack Black performs, and it's like, are they going to try and replicate that? I'm very happy they had the restraint not to, because it works the first time. It can feel forced the second time, and I think that like there must have been a conversation like, should we, after that stupid fucking song in the Minecraft movie, be that as it may. This movie is serviceable. It is fine. If you are watching it once in a theater because you're bringing your kids to see it Easter weekend, I'm sure you will have a good enough time watching it. There's enough there to keep parents engaged. But again, it's like, the bigger issue is, like, what I would say about the MCU of it all. is they're very clearly trying to build out this universe, but the fundamental core issue is that, like, do kids now care about Star Fox? Because, like, I would assume, like, we haven't had a Star Fox game since the Wii U, so we really didn't have a Star Fox game in the last 10 years, because I was the person who owned a Wii U. I don't think anyone else did. And like, fundamentally, the problem that we come to is, like, who cares? We had Pikmin games, but, like, is Pikmin really something that's big with kids? I don't think so. So, like, I would say the majority of kids who are seeing this movie and are here for this movie are like, I like, why is Star Fox here so much? Why is this guy from Smash Brothers here so much? Why do we have this random Game & Watch reference? Why do we have this random reference to, fucking Rob from fucking Super Smash? Like, it's all things that end up feeling very strange if you're someone who's coming into this without knowing that, which is why this is such a weird positioned movie, because it's very much an Illumination kids movie, but the universe building is very much for, like, general audiences. So, like, the general audience has to sit through this thing. It'd be like if you were watching, like, a Disney movie or a Pixar movie that was, like, designed to, like, the adults in the room are going to like this broader thing, but the kids aren't, and they're going to spend a good amount of time to that. Because, like, my concern is, like, okay, great, Star Fox is in the movie. Like, I feel like he has more screen time than Rosalina. We've heard more from Glenn Powell than we have from Brie Larson on this press tour. Like, it feels like an odd choice, like, on a few fronts going on here, and that's just kind of a little bit disappointing, is that it's like, I've always viewed in this regard, putting in these characters from outside of this, kind of the, we aren't confident in this product, so we want to put in something that's going to get people in seats. Like, that was kind of like the when you watch the Flash, where it's like, we're not super confident in this, so we're going to bring in, like, Michael Keaton as Batman, because if we were confident in this movie, we could have done the same movie with Jeffrey Dean Morgan like we should have. But we're not confident that the end result will be good, but we know Michael Keaton will get people in seats. I feel like the same thing does kind of apply to Multiverse of Madness, where it's like, we could do, the general, like, we could do a regular movie. We could do that. But in the second trailer, you have the arrival of Patrick Stewart, and it's like, cool, awesome. And that's kind of just how I feel, like that's how this feels, is that it's like, if you were confident in the movie, I don't think you break glass in case of emergency of Star Fox. I feel like the Star Fox reveal before the movie came out was kind of them being like, oh shit, we don't know how well this is going to perform opening weekend, and we want it to have legs, so Star Fox is here. Even though I think also, Star Fox being in the movie end of sentence is also that same thing, where it's like, why is Star Fox here at all? Because, we aren't confident that people are going to show up for this. And again, going back to the Sonic example, Sonic the Hedgehog does not have anyone show up. Like, Tails shows up in the post-credit. Then Sonic 2 is Sonic and Knuckles and Tails. Then Sonic 3 is Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and then there's Shadow. There isn't some, like, mystery other character, like, who shows up to be like, oh shit, here's this other thing from Sonic that you care about. It's just like, no, we're just ramping up. And I feel like that's kind of the thing here, where it's like, why are we not doing... Like, that was kind of the big thing. It's like, why are we not doing... Super Mario World movie? Why do we go right to Galaxy? And I think the reason for that is it's kind of the break glass in case if we need people to go see this movie kind of thing. It's going to do well. It's going to do very well, and I think that, like, it's colorful, it's pretty, it's sparkly. There's very little substance to it, which is why it's like a 2. I'll be nice and say 3, because, like, yeah, I had enough fun with some of these characters coming in. I really like the sequence with the alternate animation where they give the backstory for Fox and his team. that I'm always a fan of when they do that stuff, but I don't feel that this movie is anything super special. It's enjoyable enough. It's you'll have enough there, but I just kind of feel like as I'm watching it, like what was the end goal here? Like, because clearly it's to set up a bunch of other movies. Clearly the point is hey, we're gonna set up a Yoshi. We're gonna have Yoshi movies. We're gonna have hey, they want to do a Luigi's Mansion movie. Apparently there's a Donkey Kong movie in development. You think we're not getting a Star Fox movie after this? Get the fuck ready for that. And then it's look, invariably this will lead to a this will invariably lead to a Super Smash Brothers kind of movie. And it won't be a true Super Smash Brothers thing, because I don't think they get Snake for theatrical release. I don't think they get Pikachu or Mewtwo or anything like that. But these Nintendo first parties, and I don't know how you work with Zelda, where the Zelda movies developed by Sony in collaboration with Nintendo would be are live action. I don't know how you get that to connect there, but it's just kind of a weird situation altogether. But yeah, I mean, the movie's enjoyable enough. It's fun, Benny Safdie is great. His dynamic with Jack Black as father and son is really good. I do like the way they play that, but check it out, I guess. It's playing in theaters now. It's going to be the big release for the most of the month of April. If you want to take your kids to a movie, this will be the movie to go take them to. But we'll wrap up there for today. Tomorrow, I forgot what the movie's called. It's that Zendaya, Robert Pattinson movie. Not The Moment, The Wedding, the something. It's something like that. But that's tomorrow. And until our next episode, which will be that, have a great rest of your week.